morning, good morning, good morning. My name is LouAnn and welcome to my kitchen. That coffee's a brewing, and you know there's some sweet iced tea in that ice box. Well, today's recipe is the first recipe of mine for my collab, which is Vintage Recipe Challenge 25. So we are going to make baked macaroni and cheese. Hopefully the oven will work. Because I took the extension cord that was using to plug it in and I plugged it in one time and it works, so hopefully this will work. We'll just have to wait and see. So let's turn the camera around. Let's make the baked macaroni and cheese for the Vintage Recipe Challenge 25. So I got 2 quarts of water here. I need to bring it, and 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. So I need to bring this to a boil before we add 1.5 cups of macaroni. Now that our water is coming to boil, we're going to add 1.5 cups of macaroni, elbow macaroni. And of course we're going to stir it and let it cook until it is tender. So now that the butter is pretty much melted, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. Stir that in. Get that stirred in along with the salt. And then we are going to slowly add 1 cup of milk and stir this in as well. Now we will stir this and cook this milk cream mixture until it starts to get thick. And then we'll take it off the heat and work on the other section of this recipe, which will be buttered breadcrumbs. So let's fix our breadcrumbs, our buttered breadcrumbs. We're going to melt another 2 tablespoons of butter in our skillet, and we need 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Our water is about ready to boil, so I'm going to get this butter melted. Then we will put our breadcrumbs in here and cook them a little bit. And you will need about 2 cups of grated cheese as well for this recipe. So let's get this butter melted. I've already added my 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs in here, so I'm just stirring and make sure they're all nice and buttered and get them cooked a little bit. And these are panko breadcrumbs. So that is what I'm doing. And then next, I gotta get me a 2-quart casserole down because this is a casserole dish. I say my crumbs are pretty much good and well and buttered, so I'm going to turn the heat off on them. Now we need to recreate our casserole. We need half of the macaroni, which has been drained. Get this in there, half of it. I probably made a cooking in a bigger casserole than I probably should. I'm going to put about 1/2 of this in there. Then we're going to put half of our cream sauce on top of this. Give me a minute. Half of the shredded cheese, and I don't remember how much I needed of this. I just shredded 1/2 block of cheese, 1 pound of cheese. So the next thing we need to do is to repeat. I'm trying to get all that covered up. We're going to cover up with the rest of the macaroni. And I'm going to make sure I get all the macaroni out of the pan. And we'll do the cream sauce, we'll do the cheese, and then we'll put the buttered breadcrumbs. This is what it looks like before I put it in the oven. And it will go in the oven at 375 degrees, which I'm using 350 because my toaster oven seems to heat hot. So now we're going to put this in there for 20 to 25 minutes and then supper is done.